Okay, YouTubers, it's been a very long time. The last time I had done a video, it was on the account Ubiquitous1980. Now, I've started using the more appropriately named unix-user1980 account, and this is just a brief introduction as to what I'm doing in Unix-like systems, including GNU/Linux. And I think it's probably appropriate that I show you around my desktop. I'll just take you to a blank desktop. Now, as you can see, all I've got is a wallpaper and a panel at the bottom, the time indicator, and a running application indicator to the right. And you can see just over here where I'm putting the cursor, I've got these virtual desktops that I can cycle through, and I'm currently using the keyboard the majority of the time, which is I suppose some of you might be wondering what this so-called desktop is. Well, it's actually a window manager. It's called i3, and i3 is all about using the keyboard to maximize use of the desktop. So perhaps we should have a look at my first virtual desktop. And as you can see, I'm in a channel that I can kind of recommend that you come to and talk casually perhaps about Unix-like system topics or anything else really for that matter. This is owned by the guy who runs Linux for you and me. He goes by the name Caddy. You can see over here that I'm using Finch, which is a command line capable, or maybe it's written in cursors, but it's basically a command line version of Pigeon, so it's called Finch. Oh, by the way, this IRC client that I'm using over here is RSSI. It too is command line based, or terminal based, and that means you don't get any flashy graphics, but you do get a pretty simple kind of interface. Next, let's have a look at the next one here, and this is HTOP. Now, a lot of you out there will probably be using TOP, and TOP is the inbuilt that you'll see often on Unix-like systems such as FreeBSD or BSD-related distributions, and GNU/Linux. GNU plus Linux. I should probably just call it GNU plus Linux. Anyway, as you can see here, I'm running an 8 threads, well, 4 of which are virtual threads, 4 are physical cores. And you can see the different applications I've got running. Obviously, I've got a simple screen recorder, which is taking this recording now. Got a couple of consoles and whatnot in Firefox. And over here, you can actually see the end results of me installing simple screen recorder. I actually had to add the layman for this one, layer, I guess you could say. What do they call them? Like a portage layer. Anyway, it's an overlay, that's right, that's the right name for an overlay. But you can see the build there. I was actually just testing the build here with J9 and MakeOps. So I'll probably talk a bit about Gen 2 and why I use Gen 2 in another video. But as you can see, I was just doing the compile there and finished installing. So how about we move on to number 3. Okay, and here you can see I was investigating this Gen 2 overlay, which is an informal one. It's on GitHub, and it's about the guy who, it's for the guy who wrote Simple Screen Recorder, which seems to me to be a very useful, very fast application so far. I haven't had any issues, but I've only been using it for a little bit. So I use Firefox as my preferred web browser, and it's mainly because I find it to be reasonably fast, and it's got plenty of add-ons and whatnot. So what else have we got over here? Let's go to number 4, and actually you can see Simple Screen Recorder itself. So that's pretty much where I'm at the moment. Just thought I'd do a simple recording. As I say, I haven't been on for a long time, and I think it's about time I got myself back involved with the creating videos and kind of being generally more useful to the Unix-like system community and the free software community as a whole by doing videos. And basically, I want to come under the title of, as I learn, you learn. So, anything I come across that I think is interesting and useful for you guys in terms of Unix-like systems, I'll put it on this channel. I'll probably reserve the Ubiquitous1980 one for general things. If you go over there, you might see that I've got a recording of some magnets, very powerful magnets, out of a microwave. Interestingly enough, and sometimes I generally sort of deviate off topic about various things. I think we'll try and keep that to a minimum and keep this channel for Unix-like systems and keep it a little bit focused. If I do the twist news thing again, which is very possible I could do, probably introduce a few chess problems and whatnot there as a bit of a diversion at the end of the news. Some people liked that. So anyway, join up and see how this goes. Alright, we'll probably leave it just there. By the way, as I said back in here, you should have a look at this guy's Unix-like system channel. His channel, he's got a lot of good things going on there, and this guy too. He's a very experienced Unix-like system user, and has a lot of interesting feedback concerning distributions and whatnot, and might even have a couple of tutorials that you like to do. I tend to myself focus on the command line less than a desktop, but that doesn't mean I won't do a distro review or two. A few distros out there I like apart from Gentoo. I'm also going to look into Linux from scratch. I've done a Linux from scratch install before. That was pretty nice. In terms of learning experience, of course, probably not for beginning users. But we'll talk about my recommendations for beginner users next time. And being a beginner is nothing bad. It just means you're new to the topic, and it means that certain restrictions on what you know, or certain limitations on what you know at the time. And you should probably try and sort of wet your feet, but not deep dive into Unix-like systems unless you've probably got a computer sciences background or something like that straight up. But anyway, I think we'll just leave it there, and perhaps you guys can give me some feedback down below. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Alright, thanks very much guys. We'll leave it there.